Okay, so first week of 6 and 12 challenge. Today is Monday, 19th of February. Yesterday was the first day of the first week of 6 and 12 weight loss challenge. So I thought that since I'm restarting the challenge, maybe, you know, we could use a little refresher. Also, I could use a little refresher. So I had a few things that I needed to do yesterday. I needed to collect all the starting point data. So I needed to check my weight. I took all the measurements, circumference, and I took a progress video. I was actually pleasantly surprised to learn that I haven't undone any of the work. I think I was around 97 when I started, and yesterday I checked my weight, it was 93.7. Now for this challenge, it's the same exact challenge as what I was doing previously. I did change a couple of rules, so I decided to simplify as much as I can just to try to avoid any more burnouts, just as a refresher and as an update on the rules. So rule number 1 is 6 workouts per week. Before I had gym 6 days per week, but now I decided that I want to actually get outside and try to go for a run twice a week, so that reduced the gym to 4 days a week. In addition to rule number 1, rule number 2 is also I will go for a walk or I will have a dance session 3 times a week. Normally it's in the evenings. So those are separate. Those are not considered workouts. Rule number 3, I'm keeping intermittent fasting from 12 to 8. I'm not sure physiologically what impact it has on me, but in terms of the structure of the day, which is why I introduced that rule in the first place. It wasn't for weight loss or health reasons, it was simply to give my day a certain structure. That was the whole reason for this rule, and it's working very well. So I will continue doing it for this challenge, and I will see after I'm done whether I want to keep it or not. There's a dog barking. I don't know if you could hear it. Rule number 3 will be counting calories, and that's the new rule, the new introduction. So I think I replaced 3 other rules with just this one rule. Before, in the previous version of the challenge, I had 3 rules. One was reducing my portions. The second one was to have 2 main meals and 2 snacks a day. And the third one was no intolerance foods. So with the introduction of calories, counting calories, there is no more need for me to obviously watch my portions, because calories will sort of do that. And then also 2 main meals a day and 2 light snacks. Really, I could keep it in. I just thought it was kind of unnecessary. No intolerance foods, I could have kept it in, but I thought for the purposes of simplifying this challenge, I thought that it would be best to, for now, remove this rule. Now when I count calories, normally that means that I eat healthy, and when I eat healthy, normally it means that I am avoiding my intolerance foods. Just, you know, because I go grocery shopping once a week and I buy all the foods that I know that I can have. Very rarely, only when I binge or when I have takeout, only then I have foods that I'm intolerant to. I thought also because of that, it was kind of also redundant. I didn't feel like I needed that rule here. So I removed these 3 rules and replaced them with counting calories. I talked about it that I gave myself a month of February to fully get into counting calories, because it can be quite overwhelming if you're starting like going from 0 to 100 overnight. Instead, I gave myself 1 month to gradually build up to a place where I'm counting every single calorie that I'm consuming. Rule number 5 is 2.5 liters of water a day. I'm going to keep that rule. I am struggling with that rule a little bit. Rule number 6 is journaling. I also kept that in because honestly I think it's helping me so much with my mental health and just reflecting and unloading all of my anxieties and thoughts and everything that's building up. Instead of 10 rules that I had before, now I have 6, so that's pretty good. I'm going to keep the exception, 1-day exception, just because I have to. If I make this challenge super strict and expect myself for 12 weeks to do it at 100%, I just know that I'm shooting myself in the leg pretty much. So yeah, so I'm giving myself 1 day of not 1 day, sorry, just one consumption. So for example, if I want alcohol or if I want takeout, I can have just one a week, not like a full day of breaking the rules, but just like one time. And that's, I think, pretty much it. The challenge is 12 weeks long. It's about 3 months. I've already put everything in my calendars, you know, made sure that I put reminders for weekly progress videos. It's not a rule, but it's just like how I want to track my progress. I'm gonna be taking measurements and checking my weight, not every week, but every 3 weeks. So quarterly, halfway, and then 3/4 in. And obviously the beginning and the end. Just to keep track on my progress, making sure everything goes smoothly, I'll have those 3 in the middle. It's much later. I am cooking breakfast at the moment. Today is Wednesday. It's almost the end of the week, which is crazy because to me it feels like the week just started. Not when I say it's almost the end of the week. Of course there's Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, 2 of which are days off, which is I'm so excited about, you know, just because I can do more work. We love us some fighter jets in the morning. What were we talking about? As I was saying, like I predicted, the worst kind of is over now and I am on an incline now. I'm friendlier, I talk to people, which I never do in the gym. I also started going to the gym later than usual, and that could be why. Maybe I'm a little bit more awake, maybe because I don't set my alarm clock to 6:45 every morning now. I am, you know, I get a little bit more sleep, therefore I'm a little bit more like alive just in general. Not every day is like that, you know. I do have days, like for example, when was it? I think it was, I was doing lower body, so it must have been Monday. On Monday I went to the gym and I was just overwhelmed and angry, and it could have something to do with the fact that I was filming. I was actually filming some of the clips that if I included them you just saw. Like I felt a little bit uncomfortable, and I think that the feeling of overwhelm came from that. So I was actually not having a good time on Monday in the gym. I think the rest of the day was more or less okay. I guess I'm just trying to enjoy it for as long as I have it, because I never know how long things like that last, you know. So I'm trying to maintain it for as long as possible. Again, I have the tendency of going into like beast mode with my work and my workouts and everything, you know, just piling on top of each other. Once I feel good, I'm like trying to accomplish everything at once. I'm trying to pace myself there. I think I'm doing pretty well so far, ever since I said no more alarm clock. And I'm also waking up just naturally, the way that my body wants to wake up. Ever since I started doing that, I've been feeling pretty good. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll continue monitoring. I am not going back to the mornings. I'm not fixing what's not broken. The structure of my day, the rhythm of it, everything just seems to be working really well for me. So I think that I'm going to keep it for as long as it's working. And that's it. I'm just gonna have my meal. I think I'm gonna have an energy drink. Celsius. I'll catch you when something interesting is happening. I wasn't gonna film today, but I was actually going to film a TikTok. Try to like do a day in the life. I don't even know the name, so this is not a good sign. Woke up in a bit of a funny mood today, not gonna lie, so I don't know if I'm gonna be well, I didn't do it, so, and it's too late now because I was gonna do like the whole waking up and brushing my teeth and doing my skincare and stuff like that, you know, like the typical stuff that you see on TikTok. So instead of doing it today, I think I will do it either tomorrow or maybe next week. I'll just work on that. I've been going through the footage because I'm looking for stuff that I can maybe recycle for my TikTok and my Instagram, because I will be opening accounts to go along with this channel. But I took out my old hard drive last night, and I was going through the footage just to see if there's anything interesting that I could like recycle and make some interesting content out of. And I fell into a little bit of a melancholy, let's just put it that way, since last night, since I started doing it. I spent good 2-3 hours probably going through everything, but I'm finished now, thankfully. Not in the best of moods, that's for sure. I think that has something to do with it. I'm just going to persevere. There's nothing else I can do but to process whatever I need to process if something comes up. Nothing in particular has come up yet. It's just some of that footage and some of that content was from the times when, you know, things were not going great. Like my mental health specifically was far worse than it is now today. My financial situation and just in general, like the feeling of loneliness I had when I lived in Ireland the last couple of years before moving. That's why I moved, to escape all those things. And especially now, I think thinking to go back, not thinking, actively working towards going back. There's a bit of fear now that, not that I didn't have before, but it was much more muted. I have to say that I was so creative back then though, and it's crazy to see like some of the stuff that I've created, and also how much hate I had for everything that I did, almost everything that I did back then, including my body. You know, looking at those videos, I was so much leaner than I am now, but I remember looking back at that footage back then, and I remember just criticizing my body so much and being like, I don't look good, or like I look too big. So that took me back. I know that this is just, you know, this is just temporary. It's something that got triggered. I do have new fears unlocked though, definitely. In particular, you know, in relation to going back to Ireland, moving back there. I'm a different person now. I learned a lot. So I guess I'm just banking on that I've changed and I've learned, and now I will be a little bit more careful about certain things, and my decision making will be slightly different, and I will not leave things to the last minute. Like for example, starting to look for a job way in advance. Before I would just leave everything till the last moment, so literally when I'm over there with my suitcases already on the side of the road type of thing. Anyway, so I have to go through all this footage now, and I will be reusing some of the content because there is some good stuff in there. And you know, for TikTok, like I feel especially for the first month or two, I need a lot of content just to get me started, and while I'm making new stuff, I just need that buffer to keep me going for a while. Yeah, so anyways, I wasn't even gonna talk about this, to be honest. I turned on the camera to say that I wasn't gonna film today, but then I decided that, you know, I'm going to the gym now, we'll start getting ready now, then I'm going to the grocery shop to do some grocery shopping for the week, and I thought I'd take you along, and then we could do a grocery haul when we get back, hopefully. It's Saturday, 8 a.m. so I'm sitting here drinking coffee. I recorded this whole thing 2 days ago on Thursday, I think, about how like we're gonna go to the gym and then grocery shopping, and then I completely forgot that I had a camera with me and I didn't film in the grocery shop. And then also when I got home, my boyfriend just ended up unpacking all of the groceries, so I didn't also film the haul. I don't know what happened on Thursday. Everything was fine, like the week was going so great in terms of like how I was eating, the training and everything. And then on Thursday we went for a walk at around 6 p.m. and when we were back, I started cooking. I was gonna try making spring rolls for the first time myself, but Well, it started with the grocery shop, I guess, because I got ice cream. But I got ice cream with the intention of like having a little bit. Because my calories, I was under my calorie limit every single day this week. And on one of the days, I think Wednesday, I was significantly under, about 600 calories under. So I got myself ice cream because I was like, since I am under the calories so much, I could probably afford having some ice cream like once a week, you know? Anyways, got a whole like box of ice cream. Something happened, like, first of all, I've made too much food. I can't remember the last time I ate so much. I ended up eating a lot of food, kind of stuffing myself as well, and I didn't stop. But it didn't stop there, oh no, because I waited a little bit, literally like maybe half an hour, not even. And then I proceeded to go to the freezer and take out the ice cream. On top of that, I forgot to mention, I also got 2 bottles of sparkling wine. So I proceeded to... Did I finish that ice cream box? I don't remember. I think I did. I gave some to my boyfriend, but like, let's be real, it was probably just a little bit. I proceeded to eat the entire box of ice cream. I proceeded to drink almost the entire 2 bottles of wine. He had some, but he doesn't like sugary things, so he said after 1 glass I don't want to have any more. And I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure that's everything. And then the next morning I woke up and I ended up breaking intermittent fasting. I was so hungry. My stomach was hurting because of all the ice cream that I had. And I'm not sure if it was actually ice cream or the wine, but it doesn't matter. It could be both. I ended up going out just to go to the shop to get some waffles and some more ice cream. Which is fucking crazy. But I went out, I got some waffles, I got some more ice cream. I finished the whole box of ice cream yesterday. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what happened. And I'm trying to figure out whether that was the situation that happened on Thursday morning that triggered it. I'm also trying not to use it as an excuse if it was, and try to figure out how can I do it better next time, because it's inevitable. A situation like that will come up again. And I already decided I'm gonna make a whole video about the triggers and the mental health side of being overweight and losing weight and stuff like that. I'm gonna dedicate a whole video to that. I had this idea like a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not gonna get into details now of like what exactly the situation was and like what are my triggers and what the triggers could be. Obviously I need to do something differently to have different results this time around, and so this is what I figured yesterday while I was journaling, that perhaps I need to, I'm not saying ignore by no means, because this is very dangerous, suppressing and ignoring triggers and mental health issues and strong emotions when they come up. I'm not saying ignore, but I'm saying I would like to try to learn other ways to cope. Now reflecting, I understand a lot what happened, but I just need to find a way to, like I said, deal with this a little bit better. Maybe it has nothing to do with that. Also, I have no idea. I know this is getting long, but this is just a process of how I always reflect and how I always try to get to the bottom of something. Another reason why this could have happened could be me under eating, because like I mentioned, I was consuming almost every single day below the calories that I have set for myself. On many days, because I go to the gym later now, I would end up eating at 2, if not later. I think on Thursday it was 3 o'clock because I went to the gym and then I went to the grocery shop as well. So by the time I got home, I was probably starving. It was already 2:30 or something like that. Then this situation happened, like me under eating in the days prior. It could have just all come together, and that like big portion of spring rolls must have triggered again, but more physiologically triggers that like binging episode of like, oh okay, we have food now, let's just inhale all of it now. This is where my limitation is though, because I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a therapist, I am not a scientist. I don't understand how these things work. I can only speculate and I can only come up with theories based on my previous experiences. I don't know what to do because I just restarted the challenge. I don't want to be a broken record on this YouTube channel. Like, my intuition tells me restart, but again, like I said, I don't want these videos to be me going back and forth, starting the challenge a week later saying, oh, never mind, I messed up, restarting the challenge the following week. Then, you know what I mean? So here's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to restart, and if I mess up again, I think I'm just going to stop altogether and move on to something else, because for the third time, I just don't want this to be a situation where I do this every week. Like, I restart and then I stop, and then I restart again and then I stop, and then I'm a broken record, and it goes on and on and on and on for months. I will start it tomorrow again from zero. I'm not gonna take the measurements, I'm not gonna check the weight, I'm just gonna continue with what I've got from last week, because I can't imagine that it changed in 1 week. That's it. And I'm gonna try to take it as now that I haven't been taking it seriously, but I'm going to remind myself, I guess, that if this time doesn't work, that's it, I'm gonna just have to abandon this whole idea. I'm pretty happy with that decision, actually, just to restart again one last time, and then whatever happens, you know, kind of go from there. This was the conclusion that I needed to come to before I finish this video, I guess. But thank you so much for watching this video. Like this video if you liked this video, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, leave a comment if you have anything on your mind. I will see you next week for the next video.